So this car right beside me is the recently released Toyota Yaris Cross. Toyota's new offering that will sit in between the Toyota Raize as well as the Toyota Corolla Cross. Anyway, today let's explore this top-of-the-line variant, the hybrid version of the Toyota Yaris Cross. And starting from the front, I really love the design that they put with this one. It really looks a lot more striking. It really shows Toyota's new design language. They also place what they call a trapezoidal front grille. You have them all in black. Here on the sides, all your lighting, your headlights, your DRLs, and even your fog lights, they are also all LEDs. And you even get front parking sensors for this car located right above your fog lights. On the side of the vehicle, you'll really see the size of this car. It really does sit in between the Corolla Cross and the Raize, but I'm not sure about the measurements itself, but it looks a little bit taller compared to the Corolla Cross. Anyway, this top-of-the-line S-HEV variant as well as the V variant comes with a two-tone design. So you get a black roof on top. Other things here, you'll see that Toyota has also placed their new hybrid logo. Now it's just called the HEV, and you also get 18-inch rims. Ground clearance, by the way, is at 212 millimeters, and this color is called Dark Turquoise SE. Anyway, at the rear end of the Yaris Cross, well, you have some sort of a spoiler effect. Yes, you do have a rear wiper, and down below you even get like reverse sensors, and thankfully they didn't put fake exhaust. There is also a reverse camera. Now, usually in this segment, I would say power tailgates, well, you don't really need them, but yeah, pleasant surprise. This comes with a power tailgate. And once this opens up, what you'll see here is that you have this parcel cover. You can even fold down those rear seats 60/40. And also usually with these hybrid vehicles, you can expect to no longer have a spare tire because there's probably some batteries in there. But you'll be surprised because once you do lift up this false floor, you actually get a full-size spare tire. It does come with steelies though instead of rims, but that is much better compared to a temporary spare tire or even a tire repair kit. But of course, the biggest selling point of the top-of-the-line version of the Toyota Yaris Cross is its hybrid power plant. And what you have here is a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder gasoline engine making 91 horsepower and 121 Newton meters of torque. Now, that really doesn't sound like much. In fact, it sounds like it's lower compared to the regular gasoline variant, but this is supplemented by an electric motor capable of delivering 80 horsepower and 141 Newton meters of torque, bringing total output to 111 horsepower. For the torque figures, the total torque, well, it's kind of hard to calculate when it comes to these hybrid systems, so let's just say it's at 141 Newton meters, the most that the electric motor can provide. And it is mated to an CVT transmission. Now, moving towards the interior of the Toyota Yaris Cross, if you're coming from a Toyota Raize, it's going to look very familiar. Your digital instrument cluster, that's exactly the same. The screen by the center, it's a 9-inch touchscreen that it also is exactly the same. And this one comes with a reverse camera. You even get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And speaking of connectivity, you even get a wireless charging pad. Other things that they got off of the Toyota Raize include your climate control system, your shifter, steering wheel. It is leather wrapped, and there's so much buttons on it because this car does come with Toyota Safety Sense. So that includes your lane departure warning and also your adaptive cruise control. Really good for this segment. You can also tilt and telescope the steering column to find your perfect driving position. And now for the seats, they are covered in like a leatherette material. It even has these like blue stitching on it, and the driver's seat is even power adjustable. The passenger seat, well, it does get manual adjustments only, but still, at least it's also leatherette covered, right? Now, for some other features that especially is exclusive to this S-HEV trim include your 6-speaker Pioneer sound system. And you even get a glass roof on top, and I said glass roof because it's not really a sunroof, you can't really open it. Now for the second row of the seats, well, surprisingly, despite the size of this vehicle also being smaller compared to the Corolla Cross, you actually have a surprising amount of legroom. In fact, it is pretty similar to the legroom that you will get with the Toyota Corolla Cross, just a little bit smaller. And the same goes for headroom despite having this glass roof. And I know a lot of people will ask, does it have the same materials at the back as the front? Well, yes, you even get soft touch materials here at the back. And I also know that people will ask, does it have rear air vents? Yes, it does. You get 2 rear air vents here by the center, and you even get 2 USB-C ports below. Plus, yes, you also do get a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Not bad. So now let's make a quick driving impressions on the Toyota Yaris Cross S Hybrid. And the first thing I immediately noticed when driving this car is it probably is the best Daihatsu-based product I've tried so far. So in case you don't know that this car uses a DNGA platform or a Daihatsu New Global Architecture platform, but it's the most Toyota feeling Daihatsu product so far if you compare it to the likes of the Avanza as well as the Veloz or even the Toyota Raize. And speaking of the Raize though, it feels pretty similar to driving a Toyota Raize. It's pretty light, it has a pretty numb steering feel, but that does translate to ease of driving inside the city. It does have a little bit extra feedback though compared to the Raize, so that is truly appreciated. Power-wise, you're not going to feel lacking in power with the Yaris Cross. There's more than enough power. It's not a fast car, not at all, but it really isn't a slouch. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels very light, it feels very nimble too. So when it comes to noise, it does a pretty good job of suppressing outside noise, but we are just driving this inside the Nuvali area. So I am very curious as to how it will suppress noise once we get it on over to the highway. For vibrations, upon idling, you will feel a lot of vibrations from that 4-cylinder engine, but of course when the hybrid motor does cut in, it gets supremely quiet in here. And for harshness, it also has a very soft suspension setup, so you're not going to feel too much of the bumps and potholes on the road. Driving it around the Nuvali area today is a very light day. There's not that much traffic. We're turning around 17.5 kilometers per liter. I do assume that that will go down significantly once we enter Metro Manila, and especially from driving the best road in the world, EDSA, but for now, this is all we have. Again, in the full review, we'll tell you more about that. Now let's go back to all the acceleration and the power of this car. So you can really feel that hybrid motor cut in and also assist your gasoline engine upon hard acceleration. But I would say that just like a lot of Toyota products out there, including the Corolla Cross, there does seem to be a ton of disturbances that you will feel. You can really feel that electric motor cut in, or if the gasoline motor cuts in, well, that is also pretty haptic. A lot of hybrid cars too are known to have a strong feeling of regenerative braking, but as you let off the throttle inside the Yaris Cross, it doesn't feel too strong. So this feels like you're just driving a regular ICE equipped vehicle. For Toyota Safety Sense, I was able to test out its adaptive cruise control feature, and it even works in pretty low speed, so that is definitely a plus point. And it also is pretty smooth. It doesn't abruptly brake when the car in front of you slows down. It's very much usable here inside the city. As for the highway, well, we'll find that out next time in the full review. Also, I want to point out that this Toyota Yaris Cross S Hybrid comes with a built-in dash cam. So every time you purchase this car, you don't really need to go out of your way just to buy a third-party dash cam. The Toyota Yaris Cross 1.5S Hybrid comes in at 1,598,000 pesos, and you can have it in white pearl, scarlet SE, and dark turquoise SE.